So, what we got?
Regina Charles, sir. Brought George Square to a standstill. Claims she was mute till yesterday. Now she insists on talking to the big boss.
She looks a right state.
Something about her face, though.
Really?
You remember the McBain girl, sir? Got abducted years ago now. Was in all the papers. And that woman who killed herself a few years later, claiming in the suicide note she left that she and her husband done it.
No. What was her name again?
Karen Charles, sir.
So, Regina, what have you got to tell me?
We'd a grand piano in our living room. Umpteen carved heads on it. Angels, lions, dolphins. Playing even with your fist was like dying and coming back half divine. When the wind blew, you knew the whole house had been built as an instrument. Our chimneys woozy horns, bongos in the hearth. Gale days, you'd bet money the kitchen was stringed. Most places you sat in that living room, you'd full view of the garden. A burnt-out tree stuck in a lone patch. My father told me the country beyond, all rock stacks, knolls and white peaks, was an angel's playground where they'd tune superpowers. Our tree had been zapped by a lightning bolt. Gabriel threw it. One afternoon, Dad and me struck out for wood. We found an oak gold with lichen. Singing started when I laid hands on the trunk, but it kept on when I let go. And then I was in my father's arms, the two of us crashing down banking. I landed lying on his chest, an ear wrapped in his breath, his hand over my mouth. He must have forgotten, no words ever formed there. My wrist was cut. Still his singing. Footsteps too. You could hear Cagoul's whistling as arms swung back and forth. I made to get up, go see, but Dad squeezed tight. He was shaking. Dad held on to me long after those voices were gone. Going home took half the time. He bathed me, bandaged my wrist, and brought cheese on toast to my bed. Said, Gabriel threw that lightning bolt as a message to you, gorgeous daughter of mine. You're one of them. Here's how it happened. So he said, he and Mum had been helping out with the baling 2 farms over, while my father stood in a trailer pitchforking hay. The sun flared. Blinded, Dad toppled. Something landed at his back. Me! Quite naked on a bed of straw, not much more than newborn. God put you there, he said, for a reason. You're mute now, but when the song building up inside you finally bursts out, the world will listen. Until then, we'll hide you. People won't understand, and what they don't understand, they ruin. And if you're ruined, what hope is there for mankind? I was 5 years old. That night I heard him and Mum arguing. You were the one who wanted children, said Dad. She replied, maybe I'll just walk into the sea and keep walking until the waves are directly over my head. Next morning, he was gone. After a whole day crying, Mum began acting like he'd never existed. I didn't go to school. Ever. Mum taught me maths, English, art and music in one of the upstairs rooms. One Tuesday she asked, what's 4 times 5? I wrote 20. Yes, she said, but now I want you to say it. I tried. Couldn't. Arms folded, she sat on the edge of her desk. We waited. You heard faraway planes, bees and blue bottles. Mum sighed and left the room. I wrote Titwitten, Titia, and tried again. Mum came back. She kneeled beside me. You know I love you, she said. Your father, though, he left us because you wouldn't speak to him. Imagine your own daughter not speaking to you. I cried and wrote, maybe tomorrow. Mum got up and looked out the window. You could see her face reflected there, the circle of mist her breath left. I ran out, hugged her. No, she said, wriggling free. No way. Lunch I went. Our stomachs rumbled. I could not hold my water. Coming back from the toilet, I found her gone. The Minnie was missing. Those yawning hallways, a whole other house hidden in all that shadow. On I went with trying to say 20, because you knew that's all it'd take to make things different. Dark crept up. How hungry I was. Another night. A day. A night. I'd wished for Mum, but I was afraid she'd turn up 10 foot tall and made of gold, cloned or half jaguar. But there I am in that empty house after another lonely night, flung across the floor, bleeding, burned, dirty, wet, wishing. Mum came in. No gold, no whiskers, just ever so pale. We'd no rain yet, her hair was soaked through. Bath, she said, and led me upstairs. I sat between her legs, my back sliding round the soapy softness of her belly, which only went on so long because her skin was so cold. Then this shuddering. You knew she was crying, but whenever you tried to turn around, she'd push her head back to where it was and cover her face, so anyway all you'd see was elbows. I lowered my lips to the water, blew 20. Bubbles burst around my eyes and ears. Sound. Mum stopped fighting her tears and let them all fall out. After she'd said, "There's something I must show you." We drove to it next day. I wound down the Minnie's windows, wind through my hair, here, there. I steered sitting on Mum's lap. "Close your eyes," she said, when I was once more in my seat. I did, and went on doing it so long that I slept. Somehow I remembered to keep my eyes closed when I woke up, for I cannot think of a better compliment. "Mum." I was on. She guided me out the car, her hands, how cold, over my eyes. When she moved them, I found myself standing on the edge of a long drop to deep black water, a quarry in the heart of the most gorgeous ever nowhere. I'd no idea we'd driven so far through field, pylons, woods, a lark up there singing its heart out. We smoked one of her cigarettes, danced. "Why not drive?" she said. I climbed back into the car and whirled that steering wheel. You saw Mum in the rear-view mirror standing with her back to the boot. Smoke circled her head like thought bubbles. The car budged forwards. I span around, tried to shout out. Mum still had her back to me, and over I went. You felt the full weight of the car swing and duck. One last glance, our eyes met, but hers were all Sunday stroll. I swear the cigarette was on its way back to her mouth, and she and those gorgeous green fields plunged. Blood yo-yoed. The windscreen burst into white flame. Glass lashed you. Face, throat and lungs shattered by water. I couldn't open the door. The chassis hit bottom end on and somehow stayed standing as I drowned. Another wrecked Minnie in the pool's weird woodland. And there was Mum, swimming towards me with great strokes, hair gone everywhere. She swam in through the windscreen. Her hands were cold, even underwater. I thought she was going to kiss me, but when her lips stuck, she blew. You felt your lungs inflate, heard your own ribs creak, and your arms swung open with lives of their own. Up we shot into that sky of daisies. I woke mouth to mouth with her, spewing water. You couldn't image how she got you out of the quarry, or even how she'd swum. The dive. It was dusk before we made the road. Mum was barefoot, ice squelched in socks. She hid in a ditch and made me hitch. First thumb a lorry stopped, Mum jumped out. You could see the driver's second thoughts. I needed no help climbing into that cab. It was so cosy. A sheepskin bunk above the seats, stretched out, winding Mum's wet hair around my fingers. I closed my eyes and wished for Dad.